Corruption must be addressed firmly, says Minister Walrond to GPF. Minister of Home Affairs, Wanaj Walrond, has called on the leadership of the Guyana Police Force, GPF, to enhance discipline, integrity, and accountability within the organization. Speaking to the executive leadership team and commanders, she emphasized that while the government has made significant investments in infrastructure and training, true protection of the GPF's reputation relies on strong ethical standards. Walrond warned against tolerating misconduct, stating, "Corruption must be dealt with firmly. Show zero tolerance. Do not look the other way." She stressed that leadership must set an example, noting that weak discipline at the top can lead to failures throughout the organization. Addressing new challenges such as border security and the demands of a growing economy, Walrond urged commanders to ensure that resources translate into effective outcomes, where communities feel secure and criminals are held accountable. "This is the moment for decisive leadership," she declared, affirming her commitment to supporting the GPF in building a professional and respected service grounded in integrity and accountability. Guyana's Rosanna Fung embarks on ambitious international bodybuilding campaign. Guyana's world-ranked bodybuilder, Rosanna Fung, is gearing up for a highly ambitious international campaign that kicks off with the Mexico Pro Show Wellness Weekend. Following this event, she will compete at the prestigious IFBB World Championships in Dubai. Fung, who competes in the demanding wellness category, has established herself as a formidable contender on the global stage. Her preparation for this year's pinnacle events includes first showcasing her skills at the Mexico Pro Show, recognized as one of the largest and most competitive IFBB events in the region. This journey holds significant historical importance for the Guyanese athlete. Her upcoming appearance in the Middle East will mark her second consecutive trip to the World Championships, making her the only Guyanese bodybuilder to achieve this remarkable feat. Last year, Fung made an impressive impact by finishing 8th in the world in the wellness category, standing tall against some of the planet's elite competitors. As she embarks on this new chapter, the bodybuilding community and her supporters eagerly await her performance and wish her the best of luck on this incredible journey. Mr. Denzel Smith arrested for littering on North Road. In a recent enforcement action, Mr. Denzel Smith was arrested for depositing litter at the corner of North Road and Alexander Street in Borda. This incident highlights ongoing efforts to maintain cleanliness and uphold community standards. Authorities continue to stress the importance of proper waste disposal to enhance the environment and public health. Further details regarding the incident and the implications for Mr. Smith are yet to be released. Guyanese sentenced in U.S. for supplying fake HIV testing kits. The U.S. Department of Justice has announced the sentencing of Devendra Rampersad, a 42-year-old Guyanese national, for his role in supplying fake HIV testing kits. Rampersad was charged alongside Kenyan national Eric Ndungu Mwangi, both implicated in a scheme to divert U.S.-funded health commodities from the Kenya Medical Supplies Authority, KEMSA. The investigation revealed that from 2014, Mwangi and his company, Linear Diagnostics, systematically stole HIV test kits intended for KEMSA. These stolen goods were sold to Rampersad's company, Caribbean Medical Supplies Incorporated. In 2015, Rampersad fraudulently obtained a letter of authority to operate as an authorized distributor, securing a lucrative contract with the Guyana Ministry of Health. Between 2015 and 2019, Rampersad paid over $177,000 for the diverted medical supplies, which he then sold to the Guyanese government. He was arrested in January 2023 upon arriving in Miami and subsequently pleaded guilty to conspiracy and theft of health commodities. Rampersad has been sentenced to 3 years of supervised release and ordered to pay an $84,000 fine, while Mwangi awaits trial in Kenya on related charges. U.S. Attorney Brian Sterling noted the significant public health risks posed by the defendant's actions. Investigation launched into tomb excavations at Quarantine Cemetery. An investigation is underway regarding the excavation of tombs at the Meta Cemetery in Quarantine, Region 6, amid concerns of possible collusion between Neighborhood Democratic Council, NDC, employees and a contractor responsible for construction nearby. The Chinese contractor has accepted responsibility for the damage and has begun repairs. However, Some family members report that these restorations are incomplete. Families of the deceased have expressed frustration, claiming they were not involved in any formal resolution regarding the matter, despite being told by the NDC that the issue had been settled. Relatives of Vishram Nagasar, buried in July 2018, reported that while the tomb was rebuilt, key contents were missing and the headstone was not replaced. They were shocked to learn that a settlement had been reached with an unidentified relative, later discovered to be an impersonation by an NDC employee. This revelation led to the arrest of a senior NDC official and a front desk staffer, who have since been released as investigations continue. Residents have voiced their concerns over the lack of transparency and the perceived disrespect for the cemetery's sanctity. A senior police source confirmed that the investigation aims to uncover the full extent of the situation and any misconduct by those involved. Efforts to comment from the NDC have been met with resistance, leaving community members feeling unsettled. Bank of Nova Scotia transitions to Scotiabank Guyana Inc. The Bank of Nova Scotia, BNS, has announced a significant reorganization of its operations in Guyana, officially transitioning to Scotiabank Guyana Incorporated, SGI, effective November 1, 2025. This change reflects a strategic move to enhance efficiency and capital management within the bank's operations. Scotiabank Guyana Incorporated is a locally registered company, wholly owned by Bank of Nova Scotia Canada, and has already been granted a license to conduct banking business under the Financial Institutions Act. Importantly, this transition will not impact customers, employees, suppliers, or any other stakeholders. Having operated as a branch in Guyana since 1968, the rebranding aligns with Scotiabank's global operational structure, similar to its subsidiaries across the Caribbean and Latin America, including the Bahamas, Barbados, Jamaica, and Mexico. The most noticeable change for clients and suppliers will be the new legal name, Scotiabank Guyana Incorporated, replacing the previous name, the Bank of Nova Scotia. However, customers are already familiar with the Scotiabank brand. Jabber Singh, President and CEO of Scotiabank Colpatria, Colombia, and head of Scotiabank Caribbean and Central America, emphasized the bank's commitment to growing its presence in Guyana under the new structure. He stated, "We have made several recent investments, including technology enhancements to our mobile app and the introduction of payment solutions for retail self-checkout kiosks. The digitization of our client onboarding process, expansion of our ABM footprint, and bandwidth upgrades are also part of our strategy." Furthermore, the bank plans to expand its client coverage and business portfolio in Guyana, enhancing global transaction banking, GTB, products and services, as well as global banking and markets, GBM, services, including investment banking, cash management, and trade finance. This transition marks a new chapter for Scotiabank in Guyana, reinforcing its commitment to serving the local community and enhancing its banking offerings. Community mourns the loss of young Nathaniel from Betsy Ground. The East Kange Burbis community is mourning the tragic loss of baby Nathaniel, who has passed away. Nathaniel was the son of Pharaoh, a well-known figure in the area, operating a vulcanizing shop in Goat Banana Land and a popular black pudding stand in Betsy Ground. The news of Nathaniel's passing has left many in the community heartbroken. Friends and family remember him fondly, and condolences are pouring in as the community comes together to support Pharaoh during this difficult time. Rest in peace, Nathaniel. Your memory will live on in the hearts of those who knew and loved you. Coretta MacDonald responds to controversial post with grace and strength. Coretta MacDonald in a social media post has expressed her thoughts on a recent social media post that sparked discussions regarding racial identity and representation. In her reaction, she emphasized feelings of pity rather than anger, highlighting the ignorance surrounding the portrayal of herself and others of African descent. MacDonald, alongside her colleague Odessa, proudly identifies as a product of African ancestry, noting that their upbringing instilled values of strength, decency, honesty, and reliability. Our parents took the time to shape us well, feeding us healthy foods to ensure we are robust enough to withstand pressure and make our presence felt, she stated. The post in question featured images of MacDonald and Odessa, which MacDonald interpreted as an unconscious promotion of their identities as strong individuals. She emphasized that they represent a reality that transcends superficial experiments or categorizations often used in scientific contexts. Only we can provide the real evaluation of what load testing truly means, MacDonald asserted, turning the conversation from criticism to empowerment. Concluding her message, she reminded everyone of their inherent worth, stating, "Continue with grace, as we are fearfully and wonderfully made. With love, Coretta." Mr. Azruddin Mohammed and WIN representatives visited Ms. Jalisha Leach, a victim of an acid attack. Mr. Mohammed, leader of We Invest in Nationhood and a team of WIN officials, today visited Ms. Jalisha Leach, following an acid attack on September 3, 2025. The team expressed sympathy for the incident and offered tangible support during this difficult time. The attack left Ms. Leach blind in one eye. The team pledged our continued support as she recovers. Head teacher retires in style after nearly 36 years of teaching. Reposted from Theodore Adams, today, my younger sister, Carmen Small, celebrated her retirement after 35 years, 7 months, and 28 days of dedicated service as a teacher. On her final day as head mistress of St. Aidan's Primary, she attended school dressed as a student, marking the end of her tenure in the Ministry of Education. While her official role has concluded, Carmen will continue her journey in full-time ministry of the gospel. Congratulations, my sister. Your passion for teaching and love for children have always shone through. Even as you retire, you will forever remain a teacher at heart. Please join me in wishing Carmen a happy retirement. Celebrating 101 beautiful years. Meet the lovely Ms. Blanche Duke, who just marked her 101st birthday on Monday, September 29, 2025. Born in the USA and raised in Bitterverwagding, on the east coast of Demerara, Ms. Duke dedicated her life to teaching, beginning at Bitterverwagding Primary and retiring from the Teachers Training College, which is now called the Cyril Potter College of Education. She once adored knitting and was quite skilled at it, but now spends her time enjoying word searches, crossword puzzles, and of course, her lifelong favorite treat, ice cream. When asked her secret to a long life, she humbly shared that there is none, only gratitude to God for His strength and blessings. Her advice to the younger generation is timeless. Set goals, work hard, trust God, and remember, nothing is impossible. Head of our Difficult Circumstances Unit, DCU, Ms. Jashudra Siramlakhan, presented Ms. Duke with a lovely hamper during a visit to the Mercy Resident Care on Wednesday. Minister Kroll engages families in success on land regularization. Minister of Housing Colin Kroll met with families occupying government reserve land at Success, East Coast Demerara, to discuss land ownership and the regularization process. The minister emphasized the government's commitment to resolving long-standing issues. Some have occupied these lands for over 20 years. We are mandated to address squatting, and we are making progress, he stated. The regularization process began in 2021 with the Central Housing and Planning Authority, CH&PA, conducting surveys. This led to the creation of 51 lots, with 43 structures inventoried and assigned identification numbers. During the meeting, residents reviewed an updated plan outlining footpaths to ensure access for every household. Minister Kroll announced that once the plan is agreed upon, the signing of agreements of sale and issuance of titles will begin on October 10, 2025. This initiative is part of the government's broader strategy to address squatting and promote orderly community development. Cancer Institute launches affordable screening to save lives. Newsroom reports breast cancer remains the most common cancer and a leading cause of cancer deaths among women in Guyana, accounting for nearly 30% of diagnosed cases and over 17% of cancer-related deaths in 2023, according to the Cancer Institute of Guyana, CIG. In response, the Cancer Institute has made screenings more affordable this October, offering free mammograms and reduced-cost tests. The initiative includes wellness workshops, karaoke nights, picnics, Zumba sessions, candlelight vigils, and the annual Walk for Awareness to encourage early health checks for women. Monette Harry, the Institute's manager, emphasized the importance of early detection. Each diagnosis affects not just the individual but also families and communities. Early detection increases the chances of successful treatment and improves quality of life, she stated. Cancer registry data shows a fluctuating number of women treated for breast cancer in recent years, with 47 in 2020, 57 in 2021, and 42 in 2022, while 2023 saw 37 cases. Dr. Syed Ghazi, a long-standing member of the Institute, highlighted the ongoing effort to promote accessibility to screenings. "We do this year-round to save lives and create awareness," he said, noting that since 2006, they have conducted thousands of screenings across all 10 regions. Cancer survivor Donna Cummings shared her experience, stressing the importance of early detection. Initially misdiagnosed, she faced challenges accessing urgent tests and treatment. "Today, I am thankful to be alive, and I want to encourage others to get tested early. Early detection can save lives," she urged. Extra verifications part of President's Foreign Exchange Control Plan. President Dr. Irfan Ali announced new policies aimed at improving the monitoring of foreign currency flow in Guyana during a meeting with financial sector stakeholders. The 9 measures include: customers requesting foreign exchange for imports must provide a copy of the commercial invoice. Upon arrival of goods, customers must submit the invoice and bill of lading to the Guyana Revenue Authority, GRA, and the commercial bank for verification. Failure to submit the required documents will result in banks withholding further foreign exchange requests. Banks must send copies of invoices and bills of lading to the Bank of Guyana for additional verification. Personal credit cards must be used solely for personal transactions, not business obligations. Entities involved in inflated invoicing for capital flights will face penalties. Any foreign currency taken out of Guyana must declare its source. Registered entities in the oil and gas sector must maintain local bank accounts for foreign currency earnings. A single-window post-clearing system will be established at the central bank for transaction reconciliation. These measures are effective immediately as the government seeks to address the significant increase in foreign currency demand, which rose from $332 million in 2024 to $1.2 billion in 2025. Credit card transactions also surged, prompting scrutiny to ensure compliance. 3 persons held at gunpoint and robbed at Lamaha Park shop. A foreign national, a shop owner, and a construction worker were threatened and robbed at gunpoint on Tuesday at a shop in Lamaha Park, North Ruimveldt, Georgetown. The incident occurred around 14:30 HRS, while the 33-year-old businesswoman was serving the 36-year-old foreign national and a 27-year-old construction worker. 2 armed suspects confronted them, threatening to shoot if they did not comply. The victims were stripped of their valuables, including cash, jewelry, and cell phones, and were ordered to lie face down before the suspects fled the scene on foot heading east. The police were alerted shortly after the robbery, and officers visited the location for a preliminary investigation. CCTV footage from the area is being reviewed, and local residents are assisting with the inquiry. Plumber and his child took cover during shooting incident. The Guyana Police Force is investigating an incident in Albuistown, Georgetown, where a resident's car was damaged by gunfire on Tuesday night. The shooting occurred around 2140 HRS between Cooper and Non-Perel Streets, Independence Boulevard. A 28-year-old plumber, who was at home with his child, reported hearing several loud explosions suspected to be gunshots. After taking cover, he discovered that his parked vehicle had been damaged. Police, including members of the crime scene unit, processed the scene and recovered several spent shell casings. They are also reviewing footage from nearby CCTV cameras. Fortunately, there were no reports of injuries, and local residents are cooperating with the investigation. Government supports hinterland farmers in managing water challenges. As climate change leads to hotter conditions and dry spells in Guyana, the government is enhancing support for hinterland farmers facing potential water shortages. Agriculture Minister Zulfikar Mustafa highlighted proactive measures, including the construction of water catchment ponds in drought-prone areas, particularly in Region 9. He noted that there have been no complaints about water issues yet, as officials monitor the situation closely. In addition to catchment ponds, the Agriculture Ministry has expanded drainage and irrigation systems and invested in new pump stations. Access to potable water has also improved with the establishment of new wells and infrastructure. Minister Mustafa assured that the government will continue to monitor conditions and respond as necessary. Be patient, traffic officer pleads with drivers on East Bank roadway. Traffic congestion along the East Bank Demerara corridor continues to pose challenges for motorists as major construction works progress on the roadways. Assistant Superintendent of Police Michael Ramdas, the traffic officer for District 4B, is urging drivers to exercise patience during this period. Ramdas oversees a vast area that includes the Chetty Jugan International Airport, Timeri, and the National Stadium at Providence, covering both the old and new harbor bridges. He acknowledged the extensive roadwork underway, emphasizing the need for compliance with traffic laws. The length of construction is significant and occurs at various points, Ramdas stated during a recent episode of the Police and Youth program. I ask that those using the East Bank public road obey traffic laws and directions from traffic ranks. Do not attempt to overtake or form new lanes, as this will only lead to further delays. He highlighted the Soesdijk Highway as a critical but narrow route for traffic coming from Linden and the interior, stressing that with no diversion roads available, patience and discipline are essential. If you need to arrive in an hour, leave an hour earlier, he advised. To help reduce congestion, Ramdas encouraged carpooling and noted the challenges posed by heavy-duty trucks transporting construction materials. He revealed that the police have contacted sand pit owners to ensure that drivers properly cover their loads, although compliance has been inconsistent. Those who fail to comply will face charges and fines, he warned. Ramdas also addressed nighttime traffic enforcement, targeting vehicles with improper or dangerous lighting. Drivers must adhere to the law regarding lighting. Fog lamps are not specified in the regulations, he said, urging better driving habits. Turning his focus to motorcyclists, who continue to account for a high number of road fatalities, Ramdas urged riders to wear safety helmets and avoid reckless overtaking. Follow the rules of the road. I beg motorcyclists to be careful and not to overtake recklessly, he cautioned. Despite the ongoing frustrations, ASP Ramdas assured the public that arrangements are being made to alleviate traffic issues on the East Bank. 60-year-old gold miner jailed for 2 years for narcotics possession. Roger Simon, a 60-year-old gold miner from 5th Avenue, Bartica, was charged and convicted today for the offense of possession of narcotics for the purpose of trafficking. Simon appeared before Magistrate Tariq Muhammad in the Bartica Magistrates Court, where he pleaded not guilty. Following a trial, he was found guilty and subsequently sentenced to 2 years in prison. This conviction underscores ongoing efforts to combat drug trafficking and narcotics-related offenses in the region. Appeal Court hears challenge on FGM's exclusion from ballot. The Court of Appeal heard arguments from the Forward Guyana Movement, FGM, challenging the Guyana Elections Commission's, GECOM, decision to exclude the party from the 2025 general and regional elections in Regions 7, 8, and 9. FGM candidate Crystal Fisher, represented by attorney Dr. Vivian Williams, contends the High Court erred in ruling that excluding FGM undermined inclusivity. GECOM, represented by senior counsel Anthony Astafan, argued FGM chose not to contest those regions, and therefore shouldn't be included. Chancellor Roxanne George noted that while the appeal will proceed, FGM must comply with previous court costs. Williams asserted that the exclusion violated constitutional rights, while Astafan maintained that voters still had choices on the ballot. Attorney General Anil Nantlal argued the appeal should fall under election petition jurisdiction, claiming it lacked merit. The Court of Appeal is expected to deliver its decision on Thursday. Bartica man fined $250,000 after pleading guilty to DUI charge. Delon Devon Jilks, a 43-year-old resident of 6th Avenue, Bartica, appeared in the Bartica Magistrates Court on Tuesday before Magistrate Tariq Muhammad, where he faced a charge of driving under the influence of alcohol, DUI. Gilks pleaded guilty and was fined $250,000 or given the option of 3 months imprisonment. In addition to the DUI charge, he was hit with 5 other traffic-related charges, resulting in an additional fine of $60,000. This ruling highlights the ongoing efforts to enforce traffic laws and ensure road safety in the region.